Hi everyone, my name is Sumaya Ahmed and I am the Virtual Content Specialist for 7th grade Science. This video will review how to provide visual supports for two of the student activities for Unit 5, Day 10. The lesson objectives for this lesson are engage prior knowledge of pollination, to try to explain how flowering plants and bees rely on one another, and begin to explore examples of animal behaviors and plant structures that affect reproduction. So for one of the activities, students are tasked to complete this graphic organizer about how certain characteristics of organisms help them survive and reproduce. So there's an introduction here, and students have to complete the table below with their group members. So the students have the characteristics on this first column for nesting, which is an animal behavior, migration, which is an animal behavior, bright flowers for plant structure, and sex pheromones for plant structure. For the second column, for each of the characteristics, they write what organisms do or have this. And for the last column, they explain how this helps survival and or reproduction. So one way to add a visual support to this document would be to add visuals to support the words in this characteristics column. So I made something like this. And visuals are very helpful for students while they are working with science concepts. According to the dual coding theory, we learn best with both visual and linguistic input. So images and text can help students with comprehension and retention of knowledge. So this way, we can include visual supports in any way, and it's helpful while students are learning. Here, for each of the characteristics, I added an image related to that characteristic. So for nesting, I added this picture of a nest. For animal behavior, I added for migration, I added this picture of birds migrating, because that is what students think about when they first think of migration, even though other animals migrate as well. For bright flowers, this is the picture, and for sex pheromones, this is a picture. So you want to be mindful while you're choosing these pictures and have them be clear and easy to understand. These images will help students process and recall information better, especially during whole class discussions when students struggle to formulate sentences or share out. So if they are able to form a visual connection with the words, it can help spark their thinking about further questions or connections because they have a visual representation of the concepts. So this is one way that you can modify that activity and add in visual supports. So another support for this lesson is on slide 10, where students are asked to compare and contrast the bird's nest pictures on the previous slide with those they have seen before, and this is a check for understanding, so they write their answer here. So from what I've seen, sometimes students, they need a guide to compare and contrast something. So I created a graphic organizer, which I will show you. So these are the pictures that were in the slide. We have a shorebird's nest, a finnish bird's nest, and a magpie lark's nest. And these are all different from the nests that students are used to seeing. So I created this graphic organizer to help them with their compare and contrast activity. And this is just one way to make it. You can customize it in any way. You know, sometimes there are circles with the centers overlapping. So this is just one way you can do this. So I have nest 1. This could be the nests that they have seen before. Or you can even have them compare and contrast the nests that you provided on this slide. And nest 2 is here, and then they write the different features for each nest on this box, and then they write the similar features that they have on this box in the middle. So again, This is helpful just to organize their thoughts. And you also can add pictures too to provide even more of a support. So again, we want them to form connections, and this is more helpful with visuals and text, and this can further support them with completing the compare and contrast question. So I put a picture of the traditional nest and a nest that they saw with that other slide, and they can write the different features here and the similar features in the middle. So to summarize, graphic organizers with visual supports help students form visual and linguistic connections and support comprehension. And I hope these graphic organizers are useful to you while you are doing this lesson. Thank you.